Morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Secure and Soar, the CEO's Guide to Cybersecurity and AI Success. My name is Earl Kelly. I am the CEO of Cydian Group, bringing you over 30 years of technology experience from my insight as my days as a former CIO of a large insurance agency. And as your award-winning cyber evangelist, I'm here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern to help you stay always on and always ahead. Now, if you're a CEO, a business owner, or a leader who's trying to cut through the noise in technology and get down to what really matters, you are in the right place. My mission every week is super simple: to give you the truth without the fluff so that you can make better decisions that protect your profits, your people, and your reputation. So here's our roadmap for today. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on who I am and why I'm here. Then we'll cut through the noise and talk about the real signal in cybersecurity and AI right now. We'll look at who this impacts, what it costs, and more importantly, what you control. Then I'll show you how to leverage all of this, not just to protect yourself, but to actually grow. After that, we'll share an important mission on how you can um, sign up and get all of this in your agency. We'll bust an AI myth, and then we'll give you a live demo of some truly cutting edge AI in action. And then we'll circle back and find out what your next steps should be. So, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Earl. Again, I've been in technology for over 3 decades. Yes, 3 decades. I know I don't look that old, but I did. And before founding Cydian Group, I served as CIO for a large insurance agency. And at Cydian Group, we specialize in helping growth-minded CEOs in industries like legal, insurance, and other small to mid-sized businesses nationwide. And we don't just install firewalls and hope for the best. We protect profits, we help enhance your reputation, and we harness AI so your teams can operate smarter, faster, and more securely. We're based right here in beautiful downtown Jacksonville, Florida. And between myself and my team, we bring over 75 years of combined technology experience. In short, we have seen it all, and our goal is to make sure that you don't have to learn the hard way. So now let's talk about the signal beyond the noise, because let's face it, every week you're bombarded with headlines about hacks, breaches, AI breakthroughs, and more doom scrolling than you can possibly stomach. But what's the real signal for business leaders like you? Well, here it is. Cyber attacks are at an all-time high, and they're getting smarter. Almost 50% of all cyber attacks now target small businesses, with nearly 70% of small businesses reporting at least one attempted breach this year. Yet, only 18% of small businesses say they feel prepared to handle that kind of attack. Now, think about that. So, that is 8 out of 10 business leaders right now are basically admitting that they're walking into a cybersecurity fight unarmed. And when an attack happens, the average downtime after a ransomware event this year is 24 days. That's nearly a full month without being fully operational. A month of lost productivity, lost revenue, and lost customer trust. But here's the part that should keep you up at night. Hackers aren't just coming at you with brute force anymore. They're using AI to supercharge their attacks. Deepfake phone calls that sound like they are coming exactly from your CEO. They're using AI to craft phishing kits that sail right past all of your phishing filters. And automation that can blast out attacks at hundreds of companies simultaneously, looking for just that one weak spot. That's what's really going on. So let me ground this in reality with a few examples for you. Today, VC firm Insight Partners disclosed that thousands of current and former employees, plus its limited partners, had personal data stolen in a ransomware attack tied to a breach of its human resources system. The notification was filed with California's Attorney General, and it says that over 12,000 people are impacted. Several weeks ago, a major luxury skincare brand, Clarins, allegedly exposed personal data of over 600,000 customers, their names, addresses, birth dates, email addresses, and full purchase histories after a breach was tied to its online store. And that's a reminder that even a $500 million cybersecurity budget, a single weak control, can undo everything that did. Meanwhile, TransUnion disclosed that a breach at a third-party vendor exposed personal data for over 4.4 million people. While credit files weren't leaked, the data was enough to fuel phishing, identity theft, and fraud. And in Texas, a breach of the disaster grant system, which was run by the General Land Office, exposed the personal information of about 44,000 Texans seeking state disaster relief. Names, birth dates, social security numbers, bank account, and medical records were all visible due to a software misconfiguration. Now, I don't tell you these stories to scare you. I tell you them because they're not hypothetical. They are happening every single week to companies just like yours. So, who does this really impact? Well, the truth is it impacts everyone, but it hits small businesses hardest. Why? Because because we run so lean. We don't have room for error. We don't have giant IT budgets, and we don't have giant IT teams just waiting on the sidelines. But the sobering statistic is that more than 60% of small businesses that experience a major cyber incident will close their doors within 6 months. That means for many, it's not just a bad week, it's game over. So let's talk about the cost of that, because we're not just talking about downtime. We're talking about regulatory penalties, lawsuits, brand damage, and yes, even leadership turnover. The cost of a cyber incident today ranges anywhere from $150,000 on the low end to over $2.2 million on the high end. I know one professional services firm that spent $65,000 just on recovery. But the real loss, they lost their top 4 clients because their trust was shaken. And once that trust is gone, it's incredibly hard to get it back. So let's talk about the good news. So the good news is, while you can't stop threats from existing, you absolutely have control over how your business responds. And you can control how quickly that you adapt. You can control who you choose as your partner, and you can control how seriously you take cybersecurity and AI. The right person doesn't just bring security, they bring speed, they bring efficiency, and they bring trust. And here's the other exciting part, and it often gets overlooked. Cybersecurity and AI aren't just defensive tools, they're growth tools. One of our legal clients recently invested in a cybersecurity upgrade, but instead of hiding it in the IT closet, they put it front and center in all of their proposals. They literally said, here's how we protect your sensitive data. The result, they won 2 new corporate contracts worth $300,000 annually. That's the difference between looking at security as an expense versus leveraging it as a competitive edge. Now, before we move into today's myth and our demo, let me pause and invite you to something I call the Cyber AI Profit Session. Now, here's how that's going to work. We'll sit down with you and your leadership team, assess your risk, run a dark web scan to see if your employee credentials are already out there, simulate a phishing attack, and then show you how to harness AI to run faster and safer. Now, let's set some expectations. I'm not going to tell you that this is for everyone. It's not. If you're perfectly happy flying blind, if downtime and lost clients don't concern you, then don't call us. But if you'd like clarity on where your risks are, if you'd like to see practical ways that AI can actually make your team more efficient, then an AI cyber session is for you. Fair enough? So you can book it at cydian.group/risk or call us directly at 904-907-8503. Now let's bust into this week's AI myth. Our AI myth of this week is that AI can solve any problem. And the truth is, artificial intelligence can solve complex problems and make accurate predictions, but it's absolutely not a cure-all. And since AI depends on algorithms and data, biased or incomplete inputs can lead to flawed or unethical outcomes. I actually just came from a IASA conference in Orlando where I talked about making sure that your AI was not biased and that you're always checking your AI outcomes. AI works best on structured, well-defined tasks. And while problems needing intuition, creativity, or emotional judgment are better addressed with human expertise, it can help you do all of that. So let's talk about our AI demo of the week. Now, every week we choose a different AI tool. This week we're going to use, we are going to use, did I close it? I can't find my screen. Oh, there it is. Found it. All right. This week we're going to use Windows, or excuse me, not Windows, but Copilot. Because I've had a lot of people ask me about Copilot and what they thought about Copilot. Now, I'm going to use Copilot today. Copilot is available in Microsoft Office products. It is Chat GPT based, so you're going to get a lot of questions or a lot of different answers based on Chat GPT. But we're going to talk about how you can use Copilot. So one of the cool things that Copilots can do is if you get an email from a customer. So let's say I get this email and so I'm going to say, what do I want it to draft? And I'll say, I received this email and I need to respond. Oh, apparently I cannot type today. Now, sometimes you'll see that I have Copilot at the top. Sometimes you can actually set up Copilot so that you can view it on the side. It is completely up to you how you want to use it. So I'm going to click go. Copilot's going to look some information. Then it's going to find a draft and it's going to answer this question. So I can literally copy and paste this email into my email and send it out. Now, one of the things I like to do with it is I like to write the email and then have it update the email based on what I said. So sometimes I have Copilot use it for me. Now, you can also do this in email. So if I was to create a new email, and what I'm going to do is show my email screen. Hang on a minute. So this is a blank email. So I can do the same thing. I can say, I need to reply to this email in a professional manner. And I can hit generate, and it will create a draft of that email. And then it will allow me to keep this email. And then you'll see that it put that in my email for me. So you can literally just send that out. Now, the other thing that you can do, and I'm going to close that up, is if you have an existing email, and let me find one that is just a random email. All right, so I'm going to use this one that I received from Kathy Sutton from the Jacksonville Chamber. So I'm going to say remove, and I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. All right, so I received this email from Kathy Sutton at the Jax Chamber. Should be on your screen now. Okay, I can hit Copilot and say reply at the top, and Copilot will read this email and it will say, what do I want to say? And I said, tell Kathy, thank you for sending this email. Generate. And it will say, Kathy, thank you so much for sending the upcoming council. Okay. So it can help you to reply to emails so that you're making sure that your emails are replied to. And if you're a busy executive like myself, it's so much easier to just put the information in and send it off. And so it's very helpful. So again, every week we do a demo. This week we used Copilot. Next week we're going to use we'll decide, but we use either ChatGPT or Gemini. And I'm learning about Claude right now, so we'll probably be using that a little more in the future. All right. So again, you see how AI is helpful for you in your, it can be helpful for you in your every day to day. Now, again, it can't solve every problem, but it can solve a lot of problems in your agency. We've seen that over and over again with everything that we do and all of our demos. So let's circle back. We talked about the risk. We've looked at real world examples, and we've seen how AI is both a threat and an opportunity. And we looked at what the future could hold for you. So here's my question to you. Do you want to keep reacting to technology, or do you want to get ahead of it? Because if you want to get ahead, the next step is super simple. You'll schedule your Cyber AI Profit session with me. We'll help you uncover risk you may not even know about. We'll show you where your team is vulnerable, and we'll map out how AI can be your growth multiplier and not your liability. Now, if we meet and it's not a fit, no harm done. You walk away with more clarity than you had before. And if it is a fit, then you'll have a roadmap to make your business stronger, safer, and more profitable. So, is that worth the conversation? If you think it is, you can book it at cydian.group/risk, or you can call us at 904-907-8503. I want to thank you for joining me today. Stay secure, stay smart, and as always, keep soaring. I'll see you right here next Wednesday at 11 a.m. And as always, be absolutely kind to each other. Have a great week.